Detective Lila's world had shrunk to the four walls of this empty apartment, the air thick with the ghost of a life recently snuffed out. The only sound was the insistent, shrill ringing of a burner phone left on the dusty floor. She knew what awaited her. She'd answered it at 3 other crime scenes this week. Each time, a voice, twisted and warped by technology, would whisper a name, the next person to die. With a deep breath, she picked it up. The static crackled, a digital serpent hissing in her ear. Then the voice, low and guttural. Lila. Just her name. Not Detective Reyes. Lila. A chill, colder than any morgue, traced its way down her spine. The line went dead. The silence that followed was heavier, more suffocating than the ringing had ever been. Tonight, the game wasn't about a stranger. It was about her. Her heart hammered against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the sudden quiet. She burst out of the apartment building, the city lights smearing into streaks as she ran. The streets were a labyrinth of shadows and flickering neon. Each alleyway a potential ambush, every passing face a possible threat. Panic was a wild animal clawing at her throat, but she shoved it down. He wanted her scared. She wouldn't give him the satisfaction, the clues. They were his signature, a breadcrumb trail of macabre souvenirs left for her. At the first scene, a single raven feather. At the second, a tarnished silver locket empty. At the third, a child's worn-out leather shoe. They felt random, meaningless, but now they felt personal. He wasn't just killing. He was telling a story. Her story. She skidded to a halt under a sputtering street lamp, her mind racing, connecting the dots she'd refused to see. The raven feather from the taxidermy bird in her grandfather's study. The locket identical to the one her mother lost when she was a child. The shoe, it looked just like the one her brother had worn the day he disappeared. These weren't just clues. They were memories, torn from the deepest, most private corners of her past. He hadn't just been watching her career. He'd been watching her entire life. This whole time she'd been chasing a ghost, a phantom who knew her better than she knew herself. The hunt wasn't a game of cat and mouse. It was a mirror reflecting a past she had tried so desperately to bury. The final clue wasn't at another crime scene. It couldn't be. The story was leading home. Her own apartment building loomed before her, a familiar silhouette that now felt alien and menacing. She took the stairs 2 at a time, her hand resting on the reassuring weight of her service weapon. Her senses were on fire. The scent of rain on the pavement, the distant wail of a siren, the faint creak of floorboards from the apartment above. She reached her floor, her key shaking in her hand. But she didn't need it. The door was already ajar, a dark sliver of invitation into her own private space.
A trap. She knew it was a trap, but it was one she had to walk into.
She pushed the door open slowly. Everything looked normal. The stack of case files on her coffee table, the half-empty mug of cold coffee, the coat slung over a chair. Then she saw it, the reflection. In the large mirror hanging opposite the doorway, her living room was perfectly duplicated. But in that reflection, she wasn't alone. Standing behind her reflected self was another figure, a distorted version of her. Same height, same build, same dark hair. But its face was twisted in a triumphant manic grin. And in its hand, a knife gleamed under the soft light of her lamp. She spun around, weapon raised, to face the empty room. There was no one there. Her blood ran cold as she slowly turned back to the mirror. The reflection didn't move. It just stood there, grinning. The knife held ready. The killer wasn't in her apartment. The killer was in the mirror.
Thank you so much for joining me on this chilling ride.
If you love stories that mess with your mind, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what happens next. Drop a comment below with your theories. I'd love to hear them. Until next time, stay curious and watch your back.